Hi again, and welcome back to another cursed video. Not literally a video that is cursed, but a video that is about more figuratively cursed videos. The kind of curse that isn't really easily described, but when you see it, you just fucking know that you've laid eyes upon something that has been damned by the will of God. Kind of like when you pay too much attention to an anthill. Now this is the second video that I'm making on cursed media. The last one was on cursed videos, so if you want to check that one out after this one, feel free. But today, instead of wading through videos, we're going to be delving into the realm of cursed images. When I last talked about the cursed genre of media, I said what many of you already know, in that many people nowadays have a folder dedicated to amassing a collection of cursed videos. Now, while this does still remain true, I must confess that I have a separate folder that some of you, if not more of you, might have over a cursed videos folder. A folder that is solely dedicated to cursed images, wherever I may find them. Whether that's on my Twitter timeline, looking in the corner of this room, wherever it may be. So before I get into the part of the video where I try to pretend that I'm smart, let me give you a small tour of my collection of cursed images. I figured it's only right that I try and do so before I get into the meat of this video. Anyways, let's look at this pile of dog shit. This is a picture of a bong, but it's filled with milk. I don't know why I have this. I actually forgot where I got this. These are some uncooked dead chickens sitting in a sink like it's a hot tub. Quackity sends this one a lot, and I nabbed it from him. One of my favorites personally. I have some stuff I cannot show. This is one of Etika that I screen capped from I also forgot where. This is a picture of Alex Ernst with that S logo that every single fucking one of us know about shaved into the side of his head. I would say this logo on its own counts as a cursed image. I also have the screenshot of a dude who, when Hershey Park was flooding, he was just kind of brushing some of the water back in. If this is me, this is all my problems. Just so you get an idea of what was happening when this dude was pushing this water, let me show you a picture of what Hershey Park looked like when it was flooded. Yeah, it's a lot of chocolate milk. Now, cursed images do share some similarities with cursed videos and how they managed to make me question my own existence. For one, a lot of both cursed images and cursed videos are distorted visually to the point of causing the near heat death of the universe. But what makes the accursed image so special in my opinion is the things that set it apart from videos. To start with, images or photos in general are different from video or film in that they aren't capturing life in motion, but rather they capture life at a standstill. Two completely different experiences. Now you could say that videos can capture life both in motion and when it's frozen by just taking one of those frames as an individual picture from a video, but there's more to it than just that. Videos are generally captured with the intent of capturing something in motion, with the idea that it won't be a single frame standing on its own, but rather a bunch of pictures stitched together to create that illusion of movement as a bigger, pardon the pun, picture. On the other hand, photos are often captured, at least in my experience, with the intent of that photo being able to stand on its own. To not be a bigger part of some electronic mechanism replaying a moment of life, but rather to capture single instances. They stay the same and the experience is the same no matter how long you've left them there. Like if you were to pause a video, but only if that video were meant to be paused eternally. In short, within the image there's a good chance there's a lot of smaller things or detail to try and find or examine in just the one picture that was intentionally put there, as opposed to looking for those details in a single screen grab frame from a video. Because in the video, the one picture is the part, and in an image, the picture itself is the whole. Now obviously there are exceptions, and it's not like this is some kind of steadfast law to how every video or photo is meant to be taken, or that I'm even any kind of authority to be talking on this kind of shit. I mean, some people try to blur the line between photography and film, but I'm too stupid and stupid again to try and get into that. The point is that cursed images offer a whole different set of curses and experiences, and a lot of time for a different reason than cursed videos do. If you add on top of that whole spiel I just gave the fact that images don't have sound by default, then that just helps to illustrate the divide there is between the cursed video and the cursed image even further. But just because an image doesn't make a sound, doesn't mean it can't be heard. Some images exist that have such strong emotions or memories attached to them, whether they are based on experiences that many of us as humans or as children shared, that when we see that imagery again, it dredges up those memories from our past, and in a way, we can hear exactly what we heard the first time we saw that picture, or a thing that we associate with that picture. And quite frankly, I'm gonna classify that as an image being cursed with undeath. Truly a fate worse than actually being dead. It's essentially like being a Draugr in Skyrim, where instead of your entire existence being to stop the dragon form from disturbing the tombs of the dragon priests, it's just to remind people that thing happened that one time and you as an image remind them of that thing that happened. So if you need any further clarification, why don't we go over a couple examples of images you can hear? If describing the phenomena doesn't work, perhaps trying to get you to experience it will. The most common ones you might see are when you're scrolling down your Twitter timeline, perhaps you've seen a funny screenshot from SpongeBob. It's giving you a chuckle, and the caption for the tweet is something like, retweet if you can hear this image. Stuff like that. Luckily, our good mates over at BuzzFeed have a list of 17 pictures you can actually hear even though there's no sound that should help jog that feeling in your soul. Now this article does contain a lot of images that are actually GIFs, and while I would say they count towards the whole hearing without sound thing, I'm gonna exclude those ones from the article in this video because it kind of shits on the whole pictures are often taken with the intent of capturing still life, fake philosophical bullshit I had going on, but rest assured they are still valid. The first non-GIF image they have, and it's pronounced GIF, not GIF, and if you think otherwise, you're just wrong. No two ways about it, is a Tumblr post with a list of sounds that when you read them out, you fucking know exactly what that sound is in your head. The list of sounds is as follows. High heels clacking on the marble tile of a church. That one's not as common as I think this person thinks it is. A soda can being opened. I definitely just heard that one. A plastic covered library book being pressed flat, crunching the binding. That is an oddly specific sound, but Jesus Christ, I just fucking heard it. A marble rolling on a wooden floor. I think I hear that even when I'm sleeping. Probably some remnant of some deep personal trauma my subconscious has buried for my sake. And lastly, wood popping and crackling as it burns. Yup, this I can confirm 100%. The next one that instantly clicked for me on this list was the picture of these things. The sound they make when they click together haunts my dreams like a tax collector. There's a SpongeBob screenshot on this list, just like I mentioned you may have seen earlier. The one they selected for this prestigious BuzzFeed list article is one of SpongeBob singing the Krusty Krab pizza song, subtitled With Soul. And the rest of the images on this list are all of song lyrics that you would almost undoubtedly recognize in your head, even if you don't know what song it's from, or it's just some fucking jingle from a commercial that's seared into the side of my brain like that one guy from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Basically what I'm saying is that it's fucking stuck in my head and I can't get it out. Now, wrapping up this images you can hear subgenre of cursed image, the reason I classify these images as cursed is because they are more cursed in the traditional sense, and that they have to live out some twisted, sickening form of undeath. Moving away from them though, let's move back into the types of cursed image that are a bit more ambiguous, the type of thing that if you know, you know. Let's start it with one that I've mentioned on this channel a couple times and on other people's channels a couple times as well. The crying baked potato cat, where the body of the cat is actually a guinea pig and the cat is just fucking slapped onto its head. This image perplexes me to no end. I'd say that the original image of just the guinea pig cosplaying a potato is pretty cursed on its own, but slapping that crying cat on it just shoots the curse level readings on my curse scanner radar gun thing through the roof. Like, I've actually seen that crying cat head in more than just this image. It seems like if you slap it anywhere, you run the risk of contaminating that entire image. Something about that fucking cat just curses it exactly right. Like, just look at some of these. There's this one of the cat just pretty standard crying close up to the camera. There's another picture with the cat's face just masked onto a different cat, but still crying. Here's another picture of the crying cat face, but this time it's on a kitten, which makes it extra sad, TM. Some people have put the crying cat face onto pictures of other already famous cat pictures, like the one where the cat is getting really wary of a knife that's pressed worryingly close up to its throat. There's another where a dude is just flicking off a cat and it's bawling its eyes out. People have put this shit on sweaters and pillowcases as well, so there's a supply for that kind of stuff if you're in the market for it. One of my favorite little tidbits of this meme is that if you type in crying cat in just a normal Google search, it gives you an actual description or list of things that a crying cat could signify to its pet owner, like the cat being sick or something to actually get worried about. But all the example images of crying cats are just the fucking meme ones with all the same face. Now, as I've said a couple times previously, a piece of media being cursed is not a set or steadfast set of guidelines. It's very much a subjective thing, which is part of what brings me to my next point. Images can be cursed within a certain group of people, like an inside joke that is given some special context that gives it its cursed designation. So yeah, basically just a regular inside joke. I have a couple screenshots of my friends, either from their videos or other places that I have safely tucked away into my cursed images folder for either posting as reaction images or to spam group chats with whenever the situation may call for it. Like, I was watching my friend Hoover's video that he made testing flex tape as a joke, and there was just one screenshot I paused on completely randomly that I knew was like the perfect cursed image of Hoover. Just him staring at something. We don't know exactly where he was looking because he's wearing shades, so we are left to wonder not just where he might be looking, but also what it is he might be looking at. And that's part of why I like images. It can be a little easier to fill in the blanks in Photoshop on a cursed image than it is on some cursed videos. Part of it just leaves a little more to the imagination, so that the cursed image can truly become a viewer's own definition of cursed. Something that's cursed in a special little way to them and no one else. In fact, I think my favorite cursed images are the ones that are personal to someone. Not even the ones that are personal to me specifically, but seeing that relationship, the connection that forms such a tight bond between a person and a deep fried meme they found on Reddit. It's something truly special. It takes that subjectivity that cursed images rely very heavily on and cranks it up to 11, making the subjectivity the cursed factor of the thing itself in a way. Like, the Hoover image looks kind of funny on its own if I try to separate the context of what it was taken in. When I took the picture, of the fact that I know the person, all that stuff. And when I removed that context, I still laughed and I still think it's cursed, but just not in the same way. It's cursed in that case because it's a bit absurd and it's random, but the curse that I would enjoy most out of it is that I know the story behind the image that would perplex a rando. A guy who hasn't been to the place where that video was recorded and wasn't there when the roll of flex tape that was used in that video got by. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. If you guys enjoyed, be sure sure to drop a like, and if you're new, subscribe. Why don't you guys tell me your favorite cursed images in the comments below? I have a podcast with Wild Spartans and FPS Diesel called Loudmouse, and we upload 2 new episodes every week on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and we're up on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter at Kwite and on Instagram at Kwite.png. Links to both of those in the description below. And lastly, I also have a Discord server. Link to that in the description as well if you're interested. Anyways, this has been Kwite, and I'll see you guys next time.